Meeting of the Public Health, Welfare, and Safety Committee to order. If y'all will join me in bowing your heads, and we will start with the invocation. God, we come to you on this July evening, hoping to do your work as members of this committee and members of this Quorum Court. We ask for your guidance to make the right decisions and to vote for the appropriate ways that we should, as our constituents would like for us to. And we ask that you keep watch over all of our first responders that are out there serving in the county this evening. And all of us, we just ask for your protection always. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, y'all join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Note for the record that we have all members of the committee here. Just for the public's awareness, item number 4 on our agenda has been pulled and will not be considered in this committee meeting. So our first order of business is the consideration of a resolution recognizing public safety telecommunicators as first responders who serve all of Garland County, Arkansas, and supporting their designation as first responders at the state and federal levels. This was brought forward by the sponsor of this resolution is Justice Jeremy Brown. So I'd like to give him an opportunity to explain what the resolution is, and then we can entertain a motion once he's done. Justice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this resolution, if you read it, is very self-explanatory, but from this level, it's basically given recognition to our 911 call center employees for the work that they do. Oftentimes the 911 telecommunication person or the switchboard is the first responder. They're the ones that you have had the initial contact with as they're trying to get you to the right emergency department. So we want to recognize our telecommunication members as first responders. This is a statement. It's not a non-binding statement, so it doesn't increase any pay. It doesn't increase any benefits. This is just a statement that we appreciate, we support, and would like to recognize our 911 call center telecommunication members as first responders. This is part of a broader movement throughout the U.S. There are there's a House bill and a Senate bill currently from a national level that would change the occupational code. Currently, they're just considered clerical workers, and I believe that our 911 call center individuals are much more than just clerical individuals. They're oftentimes giving that emotional support or maybe some minimal life assistance, life skill assistance, how to stop a bleed or keep somebody talking coherent on the phone. So with that, I'll defer.
Would you like to make a motion for a due pass, Justice?
I would.
Motion made by Justice Brown. A second?
I'll second it.
Second by Vice Chairman Peters. Any discussion?
Yeah, you said there's a national movement now to schedule. So this isn't in any way something that would be a catalyst for a different pay categories?
This could be a catalyst if the office of, one moment, let me get back to my notes here. The office of the standard occupation classification. If that were changed at the national level, then it could change those there. And if you read the last part, this is a statement urging our state legislator and national U.S. congressmen and senators to move in a way to provide them with some recognition. So the code could change. The study, what I read was that even if the occupational classification did change, the Office of Labor didn't expect there to be any monetary change in pay. It would just be a more valid classification for the type of work that they perform.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I might.
Sure, Judge.
So we're hoping that this will provide some movement or at least some encouragement to the state and federal levels to at least Justice Young perhaps provide more training availability, maybe step grants that would be available for those individuals, just like they are for law enforcement, some opportunities that we would have to seize to help our dispatchers out. As you well know, they're the first person you talk to when there's a problem. And it's on the phone, on the radio, and I mean, they get it from both sides, and they also have to deal with the public just calling in as well. So I personally would love to see it be a catalyst to push some state and local or state and federal legislation that would give those opportunities to us to be able to seize to do better for our employees, even if it's training and association, maybe, where when rules are changed for our PSAPs, that information is pushed out to everyone the same through that association, where they offer training, where they offer those opportunities for us to send our people to, or even have them come to us. It's very difficult to pull your employees out of that situation and send them off to Fayetteville or wherever they have to go for school, where this might have an opportunity for us to get them to come to us. And maybe the city of Hot Springs and Hot Springs Village and Garland County all have a shift that they can send to some kind of training here and be able to help with that. But this, on our level right now, is nothing more than well-deserved recognition in my mind.
And they deserve recognition. I just want to make sure that there's not a catalyst. I wouldn't mean intentional, but you did mention that there's a movement
right.
going on for something that we couldn't economically mount up to and come even near, an increase in pays or benefits. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, thank you.
Any further discussion among the court or the members of the committee, I should say? Anybody from the public on this one? With that, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The resolution is given a due pass to the Quorum Court. The next item on our agenda is a consideration of a resolution confirming appointments to the Garland County, Arkansas Waterworks and Sewers Facility Board for Hot Springs Village and prescribing other matters related to thereto. I'll entertain a motion for due pass.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice McGrew. I'll let the county judge, if he'd like to explain to us this a little, just briefly.
How brief, sir?
As brief as you can, because I don't think.
So there,
anybody's got
at
any
one time,
opposition.
there was a public facilities board in Hot Springs Village that provided for their sewer, wastewater, and water district up there. That was allowed to fall into non-operational stance because they did not keep their members up, their board members up. So we are trying to bring that back because there was some legislation passed in 2025 that would allow them perhaps some low-interest loans to provide for the rebuilding of their wastewater systems or their water systems, as they service roughly 17,000 people up there in the Hot Springs Village area, both Garland and Saline. So this is the manner in which this was put together originally was by court order. And when we move forward with it, once these original members are appointed, we won't have to address this again. It will be done within the village by their staff on the board. So we've put together the list that was provided to us. And I know 3 of these people on here personally, and they will be fantastic on the board. So we're trying to open up some opportunities for our neighbors in Hot Springs Village to be able to get low interest loans since they are a private community, which will be better for all of us because it will rebuild their wastewater system, which is struggling at the time. So basically that's what it's about, to put that back together. And I've asked them to be here tonight. I hope they make it by 6 o'clock for it to start. But I'm hoping that I've asked General Manager Unger to be here, as well as all the appointees, and I believe they will.
Fantastic. Any questions from members of the committee or the court? Anybody from the public? We have a motion and a second for a due pass. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution is given a due pass, and we'll move forward to the Quorum Court once it passes through ordinance. As I said, item number 4 has been removed from the agenda. So the next resolution is a resolution or consideration of a resolution confirming the appointment of Philip Montgomery to the Garland County Library Board of Directors. He's present here with us. I'll entertain a motion for a due pass.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, seconded by Vice Chairman Peters. I'll start off by saying this, Mr. Montgomery has my full support. He's present. If any members of the committee would have questions for him or for the judge, now would be the time to ask.
Yes, there's a few questions I have. Can you step up to the podium?
Mr. Montgomery, would you come forward? That microphone is on, but you're used to being in court. I think you can handle it.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for coming tonight. I've had a few phone calls. People just ask me some questions more about you, and which I don't know anything about you. So, what made you want to have this position?
Well, I'll say this is not something that I actively sought. I was asked if I would be interested in joining it. And to me, I think the library is it's a community service project, honestly. It's a way to give back to the community. It serves a vital function, I think, to the community as a whole. And as I thought more about it, I have fond memories of libraries myself, whether that's, the public library that I grew up at, school libraries, law school library. I'm an attorney here in town, but law school libraries, college libraries. So it to me, it's a community project. There's information there for the community. I think it's a way to give back, and that is my primary reason for it.
Okay. One of the other questions I had, are you going to do everything you can to protect our children against the things that are inappropriate?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Are you going to do your best to protect our children from the things or the inappropriate material that are being presented to our children?
Well, I think that's kind of a loaded question. I mean, of course, I have a heart for children. I've coached sports, youth sports for years. I teach Sunday school every single Sunday. Sixth grade at First Baptist for the last 11 years. I have a heart for children, so I think that's, it's kind of a loaded question. Of course, I would want to make sure that children are not exposed to inappropriate material. I mean, I would imagine that the library has policies and procedures in place to ensure that doesn't happen. And I know that as a member of the board for the library, that would be something that if it comes across the board, I would be mindful of course.
Okay. And I'm sure this is, something you've already looked at. There's no conflict of interest, because I know our library is looking to possibly relocate, add on. I realize you're a real estate attorney. I guess there's no conflicts of interest there.
Well, no, that's not anything that's been raised to me.
Okay.
I know on the website, I've been to the website and I've noticed that there is at least some renderings out there on a potential new location, but that's not anything that's been raised to me. I don't know if that would be a conflict of interest or not, to be honest with you. I will say this, I also serve on the board with the YMCA.
Okay.
And when a legal question comes up at the YMCA that involves legal work, I give advice. I will give my own 2 cents from a legal perspective on it. But when it comes time to a decision or hiring a lawyer, that's done outside. So that would potentially be a conflict of interest, depending on what the issue is before the board.
Okay. Well, I think, just having your background, I think would be a great asset for Adam Webb here. So you've answered my questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Floyd. Any other questions for Mr. Montgomery?
Chairman, I'm not on this committee.
Go ahead, Justice.
You want me to hold my
No. We got a little bit of time. Go ahead. Yeah, Ben, can you turn on your microphone?
Is it on?
Yes. Go ahead, Justice.
It is?
Mhm.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You want me to hold?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Ask whatever questions you have.
Mr. Montgomery, how you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Good.
We went to law school together.
Yes, that was the first thing I was going to say. In interest of full disclosure, Mr. Montgomery and myself was in the same graduating class in law school. So, but I do have a question for you. There's been some controversy over American Library Association, and I was going to ask you a little bit about that, about where you are on that particular issue. Do you know about it or whatever? Where are you on the American Library Association?
I'm sorry, Mr. Hooten, what?
American Library Association?
I'm unaware of the American Library Association.
You're unaware of that?
I am, yes.
Okay. You know that this library is associated with them through the Arkansas Library Association, or were you not aware of that?
Probably that's not something I paid a ton of attention to. No.
Okay, well, I think Mr. Floyd asked you a question, and that seems to be the big hang-up, and that was the little bit of controversy. It also was the controversy with the state, the Arkansas State Library Board, was about age-appropriate material being available to minors. Are you aware of that, or are you not aware of that, or?
You know, I've read articles over the last couple of years. It's not something that's stuck with me with different lawsuits and statutes that have been passed, but it's not something, Mr. Hooten, that I could speak to intelligently right now, because it's not, it's not something I retained or looked at right before the meeting here today.
Yeah, and I understand that. And it does put you on the spot, but then you're an attorney, so you're used to being put on the spot, right?
Sure.
And I didn't mean to do that. I understand that you may not had, but let me ask you about that particular issue. Assuming, arguendo, that American Library Association is for, and they do it under the guise of freedom of speech, that minors should have the same access to material that adults do. What is your position on that?
I don't know that it would be fair to answer a hypothetical unless it actually happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hypothetical of something that may or may not happen based on assumed facts, and really there's not really any assumed facts there other than if material is available to an adult that should be available to a child. I don't know what material you're talking about.
No,
And
that's
so,
not a,
you know,
okay.
I don't know that I could answer a hypothetical unless I actually have the facts in front of me. What I can assure you of this: if I'm on the board, if I'm voted onto the board, and an issue comes before the board that's for the board's decision making, I will, to the best of my ability, I will research the issue. I will look at the issue. I will make the best decision on a vote that I can give. But I don't know that I can give you an answer here today on a one-sentence hypothetical, especially on an issue that I don't know anything about.
Okay, I will give you a solid fact then. It was either the last Quorum Court meeting or whatever, there was a particular book that was available that had material in it that was offensive, it was obscene. You could get that. And their position is children should be able to get that too. What is your position on that?
I don't know the book.
Excuse me?
I don't know the book. So you're asking me about a book that I haven't read or don't know anything about. I'm not trying to be combative with you.
Well,
I just can't say yes or no to something that I know nothing about. I'm not even on the board yet. But if I were on the board and there's an issue that's raised about this book, and I have access to it, and I could give an opinion based on the facts that are in front of me, I'd be glad to do that, and I would do it to the best of my ability. But I can't give you an answer to a hypothetical of something that I don't know anything about.
Okay, so you're not going to answer the question.
Well, based on
basically, you're not going to answer it. Okay, all right. Okay.
Can I say something, Ben? Well, or Justice Hooten, I'm not on this committee, but the book I believe he's referring to is called Genderqueer, and it's not for adults. It's targeted and made for children. So it's slightly more nefarious in some people's eyes than just giving them adult material. It's targeted towards children, and it does have what 5 years ago we would have considered obscene material. So I believe that's what he's referring to. It's one of many books that on the library. I don't know that you can speak to that. Like you said, you're not aware of these things. I was just clarifying. It's not a hypothetical. It's a book and amongst many. So I appreciate it.
Any other questions from the court for Mr. Montgomery?
I would say this, not particularly to you, but for the library's sake. One activist acquaintance who had gone to the library, looked at these things and researched, was very satisfied that the library and the board, the group, the assistants there helped in every way and accommodated her request to make a change on age-appropriate shift on a book or two. So to the library's credit, her report was they did what we asked them to do. So they did
Well, I mean,
well
I know
on
that
that.
I know there are measures in place in libraries and with this library as far as what material is available to children. And if that's an issue that comes before the board, and that's an issue that the board, I'll say this, that from what I know, there are several employees at the library who are, that's their job, is that they go to school to be librarians. They are educated to be librarians, and they run the library, the day-to-day business of the library. And I know that as a member of a board, and I serve on another board, we make decisions, fiscal decisions, and we make some policy decisions when it comes before us, whether or not there's an issue with an employee where it's been escalated to a board matter. I'm talking about the YMCA. And at those meetings, we have long discussions, and we develop our opinion and vote based on the information that's before us. And I would do the same for this board.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
Mr. Chairman, one other thing, we did do the 30-day process like we had 2 years ago when we went through the process. We learned if we needed to do 30 days. We did do the 30 days. We had 4 applicants. One of them, somehow or another, must have got their application in the wrong file. When they sent their letter in, they said, I look forward to, I can't remember exactly what the wording was, but it wasn't anything to do with the library board. We had 2 other applicants besides Mr. Montgomery. We interviewed all 3 of them. And the person that's leaving the board that's tenured out is Mary Crow, and he was an attorney. One thing, Mr. Montgomery would be an attorney on the board, and that's good to have on any committee, I believe, as an attorney, to where you can get some legal advice. And in interviewing all 3 of them, I felt like that Mr. Montgomery would satisfy the needs of both the public and the library itself.
I couldn't agree with you more. If there's no other further questions from the court, I'm not trying to restrict public comment, so just bear with me. But y'all will have an opportunity to speak on this in the full quorum court meeting in about 30 minutes if you'd like to. But if there's anybody that would just absolutely like to speak about this specific issue at this committee, I will give you 3 minutes to do so. But I'd ask you if you could wait till the full quorum court meeting. The entire quorum court's here right now, so they'll be here in 30 minutes. So if there's no public comment, thank you, Mr. Montgomery. I don't think we have any further questions. I think we're ready to call for a vote. All those in favor of sending this forward signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? This is given a due pass, and we'll proceed forward. Thank you, Mr. Montgomery.
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
We have one more item of business for this committee, and we should be right on time for 5:30. And that is consideration of a resolution to recognize the Arkansas 250 Commission as it begins its work to celebrate Arkansas's rich 250-year history from the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776 through July 4th of 2026. I'll entertain a motion for give this a due pass.
I motion.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Young, seconded by Justice Brown. It kind of speaks for itself. This is something that is being done in other cities, counties, not just in Arkansas, but across the country in various forms. And it's just encouraging members of our community, whether it be historical related organizations or historical society or any other civic group, just to celebrate our country and our state's history, and that as being a member of the United States that's coming up next year. So, Judge, you want to comment on that, you feel free to. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The
Sure. You know,
resolution,
oddly enough, in 1976, some of you weren't here, but I was one of the ones that was here, and it was actually an economic catalyst at the time because there were several. I can remember vehicles being made that had red, white, and blue colors inside them and had 1976 stamped in a 76-mile vehicle. So I look for it to be a wealth for some of those that want to capitalize on the fact that we're turning the age that we are. And I know that I am very proud of the fact that by all predictions, we weren't supposed to last this long, and we have, and we're stronger than ever, I believe. So this is something that is near and dear to my heart. When I saw it come about, actually a friend of mine, the county judge from Van Buren County, Dale James, he is the one that actually kind of put this together, and there's a committee working on that as well. And I'm very excited about the fact that this is going to, throughout the year, we'll probably have some events that we get to sponsor and things like that. So I hope that it continues to be a big deal for us to be the 250 years old.
I agree. Any questions about this resolution from the committee or the court? Anybody from the public? With there being no further discussion, all those in favor of giving this a due pass, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It is given a due pass, and with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
We are adjourned.
You're the one that matters.
All right. All right. Let's call to order the ordinance committee. And we'll start with resolution number R25-14. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution of the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, authorizing the Garland County prosecuting attorney to apply for a fiscal year 2025 through 2026 Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration Drug Control Fund grant and Justice Assistant grant totaling $169,658 on behalf of the prosecuting attorney's office. The requested amount includes $72,523 in federal funds, $72,523 in state funds, and a local match of $24,612. right.
Second.
It's Jimmy and Susan, or Justice Young and Justice Jones.
Yeah.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Resolution number oh, it receives a pass. Resolution number R25-15. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution confirming the appointment of Philip Montgomery to the Garland County Library Board of Directors.
I move to adopt.
All right, that's Floyd and Bales. Bales. All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. All right, resolution number R25-15 receives a pass. Resolution number R25-16. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution recognizing public safety telecommunicators as first responders who serve all of Garland County, Arkansas, to support their designation as first responders at the state and federal levels.
Move to adopt.
Oh, I think so. Was that Floyd and Bales? All right. Yes, ma'am. All right. All in favor? Oh, any discussion? Did I already say that? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right. Resolution number R25-16 receives a pass. Resolution number R25-17, be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution confirming the appointments to the Garland County, Arkansas Waterworks and Sewer Facilities Board, Hot Springs Village, and prescribing other matters relating thereunto.
Move for due pass.
Second.
Oh, Young and Justice Jones. All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, resolution number R25-17 receives a pass. All right, resolution number R25-18. Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution to recognize the Arkansas 250 Commission as it begins its work to celebrate Arkansas's rich 250-year history from the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776 through July 4th, 2026.
Move for due pass.
Second.
Young and Floyd, I believe. All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Resolution number R25-18 receives a pass. Ordinance O25-14, be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance authorizing the county by and through the Garland County collectors to continue to do business with the Arkansas Collectors Association and for other purposes.
Move for due pass.
Young and Bales. All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Ordinance O25-14 receives a pass. And that's it. Adjourned.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please take your seat and we'll get started as soon as everybody finds a place to sit down. And man, everybody sure did get quiet quick. Wow. Everybody was having a good time until I stopped that. Mr. Jonathan Kelly, are you here with us tonight? There you are right there. Mr. Kelly is going to lead us in prayer tonight, and we'll call the first meeting, July meeting of the Garland County Quorum Court to order. Mr. Kelly, if you would, stay with us for the Pledge of Allegiance immediately afterwards, and then you're free to go after that because I know you probably got something to do. But if you would, stand with me.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you now, and we are grateful that we get to call Hot Springs home. We are grateful for all the ways you have blessed this community, its natural beauty, its natural resources, and the great people who call Hot Springs home. And we just pray for your wisdom. There's decisions that need to be made. There are items that need to be discussed, and we know that our human knowledge often fails us, but your wisdom, the wisdom of heaven, is infinite and always directs us to what is good, right, and true. And so I pray that this body and those present would seek your will in that this community could flourish because your blessings fall on it. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brother Kelly. Appreciate you very much. Sarah, would you please call the roll?
Justice Broughton. Anderson. Jones. Young. Bales. Hooten.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Floyd.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
McGrew. Here. Hunter.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Eds.
Here.
Thank you. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak to anything on tonight's agenda? When that item comes up, if you would just raise your hand and come up and speak. If it's new business, old business, Mr. Fleming, I assume you want to speak to new business or old business after you don't have any particular item. You just afterward. Okay. I'll let you know when we get up to that point, and we'll get you up there where you can speak. Thank you. Chair will entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Anderson, second by Justice Peters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Approval of tonight's minutes, June 9th, 2025.
So moved.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Hunter. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Exhibits A through E. 3 sets of minutes there, statement of cash position, statement of operations for June. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the exhibits.
So moved.
Motion made by Justice Broughton, second by Justice Peters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, committee reports. Ordinance Committee, Justice Broughton.
Yes, Judge, we met prior to this meeting and everything received a due pass.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Environmental Services Committee, Public Works and Buildings, Justice Young.
Yes, we met on June 16th, as reflected in the minutes. Exhibit E.
Thank you. Finance Committee, Justice McGrew.
Judge, we met on July 7th and all items received a due pass.
Thank you. Human Resources Committee, Justice Anderson.
Judge, we did not meet.
Thank you. Public Health, Welfare, and Safety Committee, Justice Myers.
Judge Mahoney, we had a special meeting at 5 o'clock today, and all items on our amended agenda passed unanimously.
Thank you. IT Committees, Justice Jones.
We had no new business, so we did not meet.
Thank you very much. It's getting easier each meeting, isn't it, for you to handle that? Uh-oh, Susan said we're fixing to have one, so.
Okay.
Thank you all. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the committee reports.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Peters, second by Justice Brown.
Yes, sir.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. As most of you are aware of and accustomed to by now, we try to acknowledge our employees for breaks in service of 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and believe it or not, we've actually had one or two that have been here 40 years. Tonight, we've got 3 individuals that are going to be recognized for their service. We've got 2 with 10 years and 1 with 20 years. And Justice Anderson, if you would come up and call those individuals to the front. Susan will take your picture, and we're not going to ask you to dance or sing. Benny, I told you may have to sing, but we certainly appreciate the long-term investment that our employees put into Garland County. It's without you, we are nothing. And we're very appreciative of you being here. We are very appreciative of the work you do for us. And obviously, if you've been here as long as you have, 10 or 20 years, then you're doing a very good job because your department head or your elected official is happy with your work. And I know that each one of you individuals, I've known each of you for quite some time, and I think that you bring a lot to Garland County, and I appreciate that. So the first award will be for, he's got 2 names listed here, but I've never known him as James. I didn't know that name even existed, Kevin. But Kevin Saxon from the county clerk's office, if you would come forward, Mr. Thomas Anderson will be presenting your award and reading a little bit to you there. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. Mr. Robert Stringer from the detention center, he served 10 years. And he's a guy that keeps everything rolling. Chief, you want to get up there with him? Absolutely. Thank you, Robert. Last but not least, Mr. Benny Strickland from the Sheriff's Office has been here for 20 years. Benny and his wife have been a godsend to Garland County, mainly because she keeps Benny coming to work every day, whether he wants to or not. Thank you, Benny. Thank you all for the warm round of applause for those people. They're what keeps Garland County moving. Sarah, let's move on to our resolutions. 2514. Read by title only, please.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution of the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, authorizing the Garland County prosecuting attorney to apply for a fiscal year 2025-2026 Arkansas Department of Finance Administration Drug Control Fund Grant and Justice Assistance Grant totaling $169,658 on behalf of the prosecuting attorney's office. The requested amounts include $72,523 in federal funds, $72,523 in state funds, and a local match of $24,612.
Move to adopt. Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Peters to adopt R 2514. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Sarah, please read R 2515 by title only.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution confirming the appointment of Philip Montgomery to the Garland County Library Board of Directors.
Judge, I move to adopt R 25-15.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Myers, second by Justice Young. Any discussion? Do you have any questions? Anyone have any questions? He is here. Mr. Montgomery is here if you have any questions. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Thank you, Philip, for being here tonight. I appreciate you very much. Look forward to good things out of you. Merrick said you was going to do wonderful things over there, so I just want you. All right. R 2516. Sarah, would you please read that by title only?
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution recognizing public safety telecommunicators as first responders who serve all of Garland County, Arkansas, and to support their designation as first responders at the state and federal levels.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Peters. Any discussion? Bo Robertson, the OEM director, come up here and say a little bit about this. Trying to keep Sydney out of the spotlight, but.
I told her that I'd ask her to come up here and speak. But I want to thank Justice Brown for bringing this up and for sponsoring this bill. Whenever I took responsibility of the 911 Communication Center about 8 years ago, Sheriff McCormick told me that that was one of the toughest jobs in the county. And I think that he was absolutely spot on with that. Not only do they come to work every single day knowing that they're more than likely going to deal with somebody's absolute worst day. Medical emergencies, car wrecks, loss of a spouse after 50 years, they deal with it all. They deal with it every single day. And they come back, and we can't really ask more of them than that. Something else that they do outside of being the experts of informational sharing is they have really streamlined this process. Whenever we built the 911 Communication Center, whenever we transitioned to AWIN, it was them that tested it, that refined it. They worked to, we say guinea pig a lot of the things for the state of Arkansas under AWIN. The digital tone signaling that we use to tone out all of our fire departments. They helped refine that, they helped test it, and they have really solidified some of these capabilities for other 911 communication centers across the state. And I'm very thankful to have the team that I do. I am going to ask them to stand up at least so they can recognize it. Any other 911 dispatchers that we have here as well, stand up, please. That's all I've got, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Thank you, Bo. Thank y'all for being here too. I appreciate it very much. Bo, we had a conversation about you having to speak tonight, and he talked me out of it. R 2517 by title only, please, Sarah.
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution confirming appointments to the Garland County, Arkansas Waterworks and Sewer Facilities Board, Hot Springs Village, and prescribing other matters relating thereto.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Eds, second by Justice McGrew. Any discussion? I'd like those appointees to please come forward and introduce yourself to the court. And Mr. Ken Unger, the general manager, is here as well. And so if you'd come forward, introduce yourself to the court, maybe they've got some questions for you. But thank you all for being here. I know it's a travel down here, and this time of day, everybody's ready to eat, but we scheduled this just so you couldn't.
Not a problem. I'm Jeff Lofgren. I'm a resident of Hot Springs Village. I'm also the chair of the Finance and Planning Committee out at Hot Springs Village, and I'm obviously one of the nominees for this position.
My name is John Hyduke, and resident of the village, and also a member of the Architectural Control Committee in the village.
I'm Cindy Erickson, also a resident of the village, and I'm a former board chair for the POA.
My name is Tom Weiss, member of the village since 2013, and I'm a former chairman of the POA board. My name is Bob Cunningham. I've been in the village for 30 years. I'm a past member of the board of directors, and presently I serve on the Public Services Committee.
Good evening. I apologize. I lost my voice last week and I can't shut up enough to get it back. But my name is Ken Unger. I'm the general manager of the village, and I appreciate your consideration tonight. As you heard from our volunteers for this board, they are all dedicated community members who have served the village for many years, off and on in different positions. And we're very confident in their leadership and their guidance as we pursue infrastructure upgrades in the village that haven't been pursued for many years. To help us comply with Act 605 and subsequent revisions of that law, and to basically put the village on a footing that will last another 50 years. So thank you for your consideration.
Anyone have any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Seemed very little to come down here for, but sometimes that's a good thing. Thank you all very much, and we look forward to doing great things in the future.
Judge Mahoney, may I just make a comment though?
Absolutely.
But it doesn't concern y'all actually, but I had told Judge Mahoney previously that when we have people that are applying for appointments or whatever, in the past, sometimes the people didn't show up. And I'd asked Judge Mahoney to make sure that anybody that's applying, like y'all did tonight, and thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I know it takes time out of your day, and I appreciate that. And it does show that you do have an interest. So, but I'm just going to put it out there for the future so everybody understands that if they don't show up for an appointment, then to me, that's the same thing as you not showing up for an interview. And I'm not speaking for anybody else on this board, on this court. I'm just speaking for myself. But if you don't show up when it's coming to a vote, then my answer is going to be no. Because, and I do understand things happen. And of course, they call in and tell the judge for good cause, then, you know, that's excusable. So I just want to say thank you again. I appreciate you taking your time out, because I know life happens and it can cause you problems. And so thank you. I just wanted to say that. Yes, sir.
Thank you all again. You're welcome to stay or you're welcome to go. Ken, I didn't know you'd lost your voice, or I wouldn't have been standing so close to you back there. Thank you again. Sir, would you please read R 2518 by title only?
Be it resolved by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, a resolution to be entitled, a resolution to recognize the Arkansas 250 Commission as it begins its work to celebrate Arkansas's rich 250-year history from the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776 through July 4th, 2026.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Hunter. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, ordinance. Sarah, please read it in its entirety.
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance authorizing the county by and through the Garland County Collector to continue to do business with the Arkansas Collectors Association and for other purposes. Whereas Rebecca Dodd Talbert is the elected collector of Garland County, and whereas Rebecca Dodd Talbert has been elected as president of the Arkansas Collectors Association for a term of 2025 through 2026, and whereas the position with the Arkansas Collectors Association is a volunteer position without compensation to Rebecca Dodd Talbert, and whereas the Garland County Collector's Office pays an annual membership fee to the Arkansas Collectors Association, and whereas members of the Garland County Collectors staff attend Arkansas Collectors Association continuing education programs, attend the annual conference, and are involved in the work of various committees, and whereas the Garland County Collector's Office wishes to continue its business relationship with the Arkansas Collectors Association, as there is no other organization that provides the same services at the same level. And whereas the provisions of this ordinance are intended to be in compliance with Arkansas Code Annotated 1414-1202, and whereas the Quorum Court has concluded that it is in the best interest of the county by and through the Garland County Collector to continue to do business with the Arkansas Collectors Association, and whereas unusual circumstances exist as Rebecca Dodd Talbert has recently been elected president of the Arkansas Collectors Association, the services provided by the Arkansas Collectors Association are not available elsewhere. Membership requires an annual payment of dues. Garland County, the Garland County Collector's Office, and Rebecca Dodd Talbert wish to operate in a transparent manner and to avoid the appearance of impropriety, bias, and conflict of interest. And whereas the business relationship between Garland County by and through the Garland County Collector, Rebecca Dodd Talbert, and the Arkansas Collectors Association shall be limited to that which is reasonably necessary. And whereas this ordinance shall be approved by at least a 2/3 majority vote of the Quorum Court, or it shall be ineffective. And whereas the Finance Committee has previously met and approved this request, now therefore it be enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas, Section 1, that the Quorum Court of Garland County, Arkansas hereby declares that it is in the best interest of the county by and through the Garland County Collector, Rebecca Dodd Talbert, to continue to do business with the Arkansas Collectors Association pursuant to Arkansas Code Annotated 1414-1202.
Judge, I move we suspend the rules and place ordinance O-2514 on its second reading by title only.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Peters. Place O-2514, second reading by title only. Sarah, please call the roll.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bales,
Yes.
Hooten,
Yes.
Myers,
No.
Floyd,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
McGrew,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Eds,
Yes.
Sarah, please read O-2514 by title only.
be it enacted by the Quorum Court of Garland County, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance authorizing the county by and through the Garland County Collector to continue to do business with the Arkansas Collectors Association and for other purposes.
Judge, I move we suspend the rules and place ordinance O-2514 on its third and final reading by title only.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Peters to place O-2514 on its third and final reading by title only. Sarah, please call the roll.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bales, Hooten,
Yes.
Myers,
No.
Floyd,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
McGrew,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Eds,
Yes.
Judge, I move we adopt, move we adopt ordinance O-2514.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Brown, second by Justice Anderson to adopt O-2514. Any discussion?
If I might, Your Honor, Judge Mahoney, one of the things I was going to bring up, a lot of people have the perception, they've told me, that a lack of transparency and that we rubber stamp stuff, meaning we abdicate our duties and responsibilities. So what I want to address on this is the fact that we've had similar type ordinances before. In fact, I opposed one. What I want the people to know is the fact that I use the same amount of scrutiny on every ordinance that comes up like this. Now, that's something that you wouldn't know unless I told you. But just to make sure there's transparency and that we're just not abdicating our duty. And I'm just speaking for myself, but I'm sure other members of this court also check this stuff out. But I just wanted to make it on the record, since I did oppose one, that I used the same amount of scrutiny on this one as I have others. I did look at this one, and I cannot find, because she's associated with Arkansas Collectors Association, but that is association that is associated with Arkansas Association of Counties, which every county in the state of Arkansas belongs to, including Garland. This particular association of collectors, I don't see them pushing an agenda. I also don't see them trying to push policy issues or anything of that nature. So what I'm actually saying is that I can't find anything wrong with it. But I did want everybody to know that I don't just, that we look at, the Quorum Court looks at these issues, but you're really not going to know that, and it creates perception that we just shove stuff through, we don't think about it, we hadn't checked it out, and that's not the case. It does, and I'll be honest with you, when I sat on that side last year, I kind of thought that too. It looks a little different on this side because you know what goes on. So that was just basically to give everybody information so that you'd understand what does happen when you get on this side and we have to decide issues. We don't just blow them off. We do the research. Everything's under the same amount of scrutiny as others. Thank y'all.
Anyone else? Sarah, please call the roll.
Justice Broughton,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Bales,
Yes.
Hooten,
Yes.
Myers,
No.
Floyd,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
McGrew,
Yes.
Hunter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Eds.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Troutman, Gary Troutman, front and center.
Thank you, Judge, Court. Since we have met last time, I'm putting on the glasses. First off, I'd like to recognize our board members that were here tonight. Carol Bells, Justin Nicholas, Dennis Berry, Brent Adkins, General Lofgren, and Ken Unger, although I don't think they were here for this report. I think they were here for different capacities, especially Justice Bell's wife and Dennis Berry over here. But since we met last time, as you all know, we're bringing back the DC fly-in. That was something that we kind of lost during COVID and we tried to bring back. I'm proud to say that we're back with 24 attendees. We want to build that back to 41, which we've had in the past, but it's a good start to getting there. As always, thanks to Congressman Westerman for all his help and his staff in putting that together. This will be a month of Zoom calls with AEDC. We've had a lot of new projects that we've opened. I'm proud to tell you. So we had a couple of those earlier in June. Cole and I attended Arkansas Businesses 40 Under 40, 40 Under 40 in Little Rock. Jonathan Foster, the CFO from Express Boats and Veranda Pontoons, was an honoree for Garland County. We had a call with the company looking at doing business with our airport. We've had 2 Majestic Committee meetings this month. Les Warren brought back the Education Council Group. That was significant this month because we welcomed Dr. Tony Thurman, Lake Hamilton, who's just come here from Cabot, and we welcome back Dr. Mike Hernandez at Hot Springs High to the group. We had our Workforce Development Board meeting at the college. I got to had the pleasure of attending AY Magazine's Best of celebration. We had the Best of Chamber for the 2nd year in a row. Gary's been busy Gary Jackson's been busy this month with BR&E visits, business retention and expansion with school out. Among those, the city, and he visited with Valerie Dodge at the county, Wind Choice, Fiber Pro, several others I'll mention in a minute. Cole spent a day with Tammy Browning and an out of state, actually out of country prospect looking at bringing their business to Garland County. We had another Zoom call. Gary met with Amos Gray, Bo Robertson, Representative McGrew, and Mark Allen on the high impact movement students being involved in community activities. We had a tour of Standard Lithium in El Dorado, which was very interesting. If you've been reading about lithium and the advent of that, we went down just to see the impact it might have and how we might piggyback on that for jobs for Garland County. I was surprised to learn that the whole process of the facility is to perfect the process of extracting lithium from soil and water. The thing that we were surprised to learn, and took Representative Warren and Brian Smith and Franklin Bass with us, our two chairs, they've really already got it perfected. They're going to start building the facility in 2026 and they'll be ready in 2028, but they're really ahead of the game. And I think we can all agree it'll be a nice boost to see Southern Arkansas of gain. We keep hearing about the steel and OCL and Blytheville, but that's going to be a nice ad for them. On the chamber side, we're working on reaccreditation with the U.S. Chamber, and we have to do every 5 years. That is due next month. We had our MSA group meeting. My turn to host here for our friends in Arkadelphia, the Village, and Malvern. We have kind of partnered with Texarkana to work with them, similar size community, similar size chambers, and just help each other. As far as the Passport Center, it's been speaking to Jared Wiley and Steve Frisbee at RDOT at the request of the Passport Center. The city, I believe, has put up wayfinding signs if you make the exit. But Mark Bradshaw at the Passport Center says a lot of folks come in and they just can't find it. You know, they're in, as you all know, for the day or just a couple of days to get an emergency passport. So we're appealing to RDOT. They actually have told Congressman Westerman no, that didn't fit their guidelines. And I made a plea today telling them there are one of two like this in the whole country, the other being in Tucson. And having been there, it's right in the middle of town. They don't really need any signs. So we need it. It wouldn't really cloud the bypass. If you think about it, there are no signs going to and from McLeod. So that would be the only sign there. So we'll hope for that. I'm going to finish with highway commissioners and come back to that thought. Met with Chris Polycron, our transportation secretary, as we affirmed our position on projects that had been approved just a few months earlier. Reported to the 50 for the future board of directors and Rotary. Gary had another BR&E visit to CMT. We all three, Cole, Gary, and I met the new AAR general manager last Wednesday, Jimmy Kinder, who has moved here from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It replaces Katie Wilson. We had a group from the state of Arkansas here on a majestic tour just this past Thursday. Gary and I had 32 teachers with Economics Arkansas doing professional development, gave our workforce presentation today. We had our meeting with Bill Ritter on workforce at lunch, and Gary immediately left and should be arriving in Nashville about the time we speak for the ACT Workforce Conference the next 2 days. I want to request, if you have anyone you're interested in, now is the time to submit names for Leadership Arkansas. We obviously want Garland County very well represented and not just be a Little Rock, Northwest Arkansas thing. I'm proud to report the Passport Center. If you've driven out there lately, you probably don't have a reason to go up the drive, but they've fenced everything off and they're actually moving dirt. So that project is finally beginning. We've been waiting on that for a couple months. The highway commissioners will be here. I hope you all have been invited. They will be here next Thursday, not this Thursday, next Thursday night, the 24th and the 25th. That event on the 25th will be more of a formal get to know them, or well, informal on Thursday night, more Friday of what you would like to see as far as transportation in Garland County. That is really kind of polar opposite of what we do in October, when our rule is to thank them and don't ask, just appreciate all they've done. This is just the opposite. You're encouraged to, if there's something you'd like to see, we're, as I've reported to you many times, especially passionate about 7 South. We'd like to see that be a 4-lane. We'd like to see, improvement from the roundabout to the 7 gate at the village, so those folks are more inclined to come into Hot Springs and Garland County, as Ken Unger is sitting behind me. And I really would like one of those jackets, Ken. I was just kind of halfway kidding. But that concludes my report, Judge, and happy to try to answer any questions if I may.
Move for approval of the July report, Judge.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Myers, second by Justice Broughton. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you all, and hope to see you next Thursday and/or Friday.
I will see you Thursday evening. I've got a meeting on Friday that was already committed to with Waste Tower District, but I will see you Thursday. In your package, you've got the overtime report. You can see the overtime is down a little bit. Battle to do that all the time. It's very difficult to keep that under control and in check, but you can look at that. Once you've had a chance to review it, Chair will entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Anderson, second by
McGrew.
Justice McGrew. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Acknowledgement of disposal of county property, van that belonged to the library. We put this on gov. Deals and it did very well on there. A lady from Arizona, I believe, purchased that, flew in, got a Uber from Little Rock over here and set out alone to drive that back to Arizona. And apparently she made it fine. She just called asking a couple of questions after she got there. So I think that was a statement to it right there. But she came to my office and we visited just a little bit. And I think she was going to take it back and try to fix it up a little bit and sell it to, had some spare time, a retired lady, and is doing those things. So Chair will entertain a motion to approve that disposal report.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Justice Young, second by Justice Peters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Old business, a couple things I want to go over with you. Before I do that, I've got some friends that live out on Long Island Drive, and they had a devastating fire a couple weeks ago in their home, 7,000 square foot home. Fire started, I believe, outside and spread in. They had like 16 people there, all of them asleep at the time. And quit looking at the ceiling back there. You're going to have to stand up in a minute. But I want you to know what kind of volunteer fire districts we actually have in Garland County. And I know Justice Myers has worked with Lake Hamilton on a couple items, and that was unbelievable. I spoke with James yesterday, Mr. Sheets, who actually owned the home, and Lake Hamilton Fire Department arrived. They proceeded to get absolutely everyone out of the house, no injuries to anyone in the house. They located the fire, which I believe was burning between 2 floors, cut into the floor, extinguished the fire, and they're going to rebuild that house. If I heard correctly from the insurance adjuster, they're going to rebuild the house. That's the kind of dedication and teams that we have. We had, I believe, 4 fire districts on site. The fire was extinguished. A lady told me, she said, I went by there and I expected to see all kinds of debris and stuff laying around from the fire where they had drug stuff out. And the place still looked manicured after they got done. I just want to give you a round of applause, Doug. Doug Davey from Lake Hamilton Fire Department here. He's the chief. But they, all of them do an excellent job. But Mr. Davey's got a very professional group out there. And when you live in that district, your ISO rating is nearly what it is in the city of Hot Springs. So thank you, Doug, for what you do with your team. I believe we had one more telecommunicator come in while I think I saw her sneak in back there. Is there one more back there? Samantha? Is that you that snuck in back there? I can't see. Stand up. She's actually from the primary service answering point at Hot Springs Village. Thank you for coming down. We tried to give you a little recognition, and I appreciate what you do, Sam. Old business, also, we have both of our bridges that were under construction open on. Thursday evening, we were able to open the one on Warren Watson, and I've had several calls about it. And thanks for the way we did it. It looks absolutely wonderful. If you hadn't driven through there, you might take time to go through there because it looks unbelievable. We put a box culvert back in rather than the little narrow bridge, and it's the aesthetics of it are great. We filled in some ditches, gave a little bit more width to drive on up through a very tree shrouded area to keep from destroying the environment there and keep it looking kind of homey. It's very nice up through there. And then the Cedar Glades Bridge, I tip my hat to Mobley Construction, who came in here in about 90 days from the time it happened to the time we're done. They had they didn't get to start till about 3 weeks into this, but they did the engineering, did the test drilling, got everything necessary, took the bridge apart, put it back where it will last for virtually ever. And we had it open last Friday about 2:00, I believe. I texted Justice Brown because that's his district, but I tip my hat to them, and we're super excited about having those two open. Do you have something?
I was just going to add what you say. Between our roads now, getting those bridges completed, one of them wasn't scheduled to be completed as soon as it needed to be there around Cedar Glades, but I'm sure our people that are here from the village are happy that Warren Watson Road Bridge is completed. And you talked about them having to come in. Well, on the Pave It Forward sales tax, they got that bypass extension and they can get home a lot quicker. So those two sales tax campaigns are the gifts to just keep on giving. So, and thank you for your leadership on specifically the Our Roads Now one, Judge.
Thank you. That's something that the Our Roads Now tax, we probably would not have been able to do that bridge in the manner that we did on Cedar Glades because it was not in the construction area. We've got 3 more bridges assigned. We've got the engineering done on them. We probably would have had to wait. And I've met with FHWA-ER, which is the group we're going to go through to try to seek some reimbursement on that. And they said it could be up to 5 years before we could see any reimbursement on that. So you can imagine if we had to wait 5 years or even a year with that shut down, it totally altered the way we operate at the landfill, and it cost us a lot of time and a lot of fuel. And I thank Billy Sawyer out there for going through the process he went through to rearrange all of our logistics for the landfill itself. The 70 West Transfer Station that we've been working on for quite some time. Right now, it looks like July 22nd will be the date that we're finished with it. We'll get up recycling opened up back there. They'll have an office rather than a camping trailer to work out of. And so we've been operating out of the new portion, and unless something changes, we'll have it back open on July 22nd. On our senior center, last Friday with 19 minutes to spare, we've managed to get all the signed documents turned into the Planning Commission to make sure that property is zoned for that senior center there behind the St. Joe or CHI medical offices. We did get that done. We are still working with CHI, Common Spirit Health, to get the lease done. I know that we've turned a bunch of documentation in today to AEDC for the grant that we're going to ask for $1.5 million for that facility. Laney got a bunch in today that they had requested. And so we're very hopeful that since it was kind of written into that document that they wanted to do senior centers, that we receive some of that funding for it. So we're still moving forward with that. The civil engineering is being done by Craft and Toll. And as you know, the architecture is being done by French architects. And so we got our fingers crossed we're going to get everything going, but it's certainly starting to roll right now. And I can tell you for the last 2 hours last Friday, trying to get from individuals from the West Coast and Crystal Bohannon, the CEO here, myself, Daniel George from Craft and Toll, all synced at the right time so we could get those signed hard copies down to the city of Hot Springs was rather challenging, but Crystal came through at the last minute and got them. Daniel went and made a loop around, picked them up, and we got them down there. So everything worked out, but it didn't look good at noon on Friday, I can tell you that. So we're starting to see some of our projects come to fruition, and I'm pretty excited about that. The generator over at District Court, so that in the event something happens over there, we will have power. It's in progress right now. They've got the slab poured. They've got the generator set. There is still the wiring part of it to do, but we've got that done. We got bad news from AHPP on the grant for the replumbing and redoing the courthouse, but we've changed engineering on the plumbing a little bit, and we will get the plumbing done this year anyway. And next year we'll ask for money to do the rest of it. So we're going to have to do it in phases, but the plumbing is one of the first things that I wanted to make sure was done, because you can tell anybody that goes in that courthouse, there's usually a problem with the plumbing. So on Monday, last Monday, we had 8 jury panels seated in there, and that puts about 100 extra people in the courthouse, and it is just not set up for that. So thankful to try to get that moved ahead. But that's really all the updates I've got. I'll try to keep y'all updated as things start to happen, because I think they're going to start happening a lot quicker on the senior center now. So we go before the planning commission on August the 14th. Hey, and I hope that we can start immediately thereafter and maybe have a groundbreaking out there where we can at least give some people some hope. Mr. Fleming?
Thank you. Last month, I brought up the issue of the repayment of the $11,000 that the county paid to John Horner. My question to Susan Ashmore tonight, before we move forward, has the money been repaid to the funds of Garland County?
No, sir. We
Okay.
haven't asked him to pay back any funds because we don't have, he never changed his address. He's always had the same address when he started here. His address was always a business address. So I don't know where any of these people live. We pay them according to their service. So no.
Okay. My question to John Howard and to Daryl Mahoney, last month, JP Justice questioned the validity of this court having the authority to file a lawsuit to recover the money. And the question to you, John Howard being the Garland County attorney, why is it that you are not willing to file a lawsuit and recover the money? The investigation has been done, and the prosecuting attorney stated in his files that this money is problematic and it needs to be addressed. So if we're interested in having clarity, if we're interested in having information given to the people and not live in secrecy, why has this not been addressed? Ms. Susan, I will say that the investigation found the addresses of Mr. Horner to be an issue, and even the Republican Party disqualified him from running for District 7. So
Payroll was his business. The payroll was always his business. We were never changed an address in the county. So we don't know when he moved. We don't ask these people. We expect them to come to us.
all right, sure, but you should. Anyone that applies in the district, their address should be verified that they are in the district that they're planning to run for. And that needs to be an issue to clarify. But financing, there's so much corruption. There's so much misuse of funds. There's so much sin in this area.
Mr. Fleming, you had to address John Howard.
John?
If you would, please, because your 3 minutes is up. I'm going to give you a couple extra minutes here to try to complete your questioning.
Mr. Fleming, as I understood it, your question is, why am I not willing to file a lawsuit? Is that your question?
Correct, to recover the money.
That's never been a position I've taken. I'm not taking that position now. So there's some factors that have to be looked at. The question last month was whether this court has the authority, I'm paraphrasing, to issue a resolution directing us to file a lawsuit. Of course, the court has authority to issue a resolution that discusses the court's intent. excuse me, the entity legally speaking to recover money on behalf of the county is the administrative arm, the executive arm of the government. This body is the legislative arm. So in such a case, if this court wanted that lawsuit to proceed, it would have to have the cooperation of the executive, which is the county judge, and the attorney who would be filing that would also have to have a good faith basis for it. And I've never looked at it in detail, so I don't know what basis there is. But to your original question, why am I not willing to? I've never looked at it, so I've never made a position one way or the other on it.
All right. Is John Horner currently receiving any money from Garland County?
Not to my knowledge. I don't have the records in front of me, Mr. Fleming, but he certainly could be. His company could be receiving, depending on if we can get concrete from other suppliers, if we can get the materials we need for the road department. You know, we try to use whoever can service us and give us the best figures on the material. In the wintertime, I can tell you they are the only ones that can provide us with sand for our roads.
So you're saying that we are...
Mr. Fleming, I'm saying exactly what I just told you. I don't have any of those records right here in front of me, so I can't tell you if we've spent a dime with him.
Okay.
I highly doubt it, but in the winter, when we need sand, Mr. Horner has always come down and loaded our trucks and charged us no more than just what the fee for the sand is. And that is huge when the weather is bad.
Okay. My question to you, and I may ask for a roll call for an extension of time for 5 minutes. I'll concede that my 3 minutes is up now. So
That's two of it.
I'm asking for a vote for a roll call on the extension of 5 minutes. I saw you, Judge. You're not aware of the fact that there is currently an ongoing another criminal investigation in Garland County government.
Okay, what
Period.
What does
So
that
let me
have-
ask you this.
No, your time is up. You can't call for a roll call. You can't. Someone can make a motion to extend your time. I will not be voting for it. You have the right to speak. We've given you your time. In all due respect, though you don't give us any, we're full of sin and corruption. And yes, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But that's aside the point. You keep on bringing up things over and over that the judge, everyone's addressed.
No one, as I was told this month, no one is speaking publicly, but behind the scenes, I was told that some of the Quorum Court members were not in favor of proceeding with a lawsuit to recover the money.
Never heard anything about it.
You stand corrected. I have asked this board publicly
Other than,
for a 5 minutes extension.
Mr. Fleming, your time's up.
Yeah, your time's up.
Are you not going to give me an
Mr. Fleming,
extension?
you've had probably 10 minutes.
I
Mr.
will
Fleming,
be
your
back
time's
next
up.
month to question. this
You're welcome here
corrupt-
anytime, Mr. Fleming. It's a public meeting.
Could I not have a motion?
Mr. Fleming,
A
you cannot
motion.
call for a motion.
I want to call for the resignation of you and John Howard.
No, sir.
Okay, we'll do it next month.
Anyone on the court have any new business, old business?
Move that we adjourn.
We are adjourned.